How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? This is Nick, and I am the CEO and founder of Nickspuppies. I'm a dog breeder that's located in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and I'm seeking to be international and worldwide. So you guys can follow me on Instagram at Nickspuppies, TikTok Nickspuppies7, Facebook Nickspuppies, and I have a website, www.nickspuppies.com.
How long you been breeding?
And I've been breeding for about 3 years now. Super passion of mine.
What do you breed?
I breed toy poodles. I've been able to breed standard, minis, toys, and I've downsized them to now teacups.
How much does toy poodles cost?
Man, I tell everybody, to be honest, don't worry about the price. These puppies are an extension of the family, and so I really work with everybody. But my most valued puppies, which prices vary by size, style, and breed, usually about $3,500, and I can show you what those look like.
Hey babies!
Come say hi.
So what you're looking at here, guys, are teacup toy poodles. As you can see, they're just super tiny. They were playing around a little bit, so they got a little scruffy dirt on them or whatever, but these would be considered party poodles because of the little bit of frost white that you see on their chest and a little bit on their foreheads. But yeah, man, the temperament on these dogs are awesome. And what made me fall in love with this breed is their intelligence and their ability to just bring people together with love and unity. The second most intelligent dog on the planet, man, Poodle. So yeah, as you can see, this is what I do and this is what I love. I put little necklaces around them just for fashion, and it doesn't bother them at all.
How big do they grow?
Man, so toy poodle like this, the most that they're gonna get is about 5 pounds.
Okay.
So
Does toy poodle have various colors?
absolutely. This is one of the most rare colors, the deep red. But you can get them in a phantom color. You can get them in a apricot. You can get them in all black. And then a mixture of colors will be considered a party poodle. So I like to stick to the reds because they ended up becoming a little bit more modern or more sought during COVID. And I decided to try to make them a little bit more popular. And I think that's probably what made my business stand aside from most other breeders, is the fact that I was able to get them to this size, and then not only that, but have them at this color with this type of temperament, where when you hold them, they almost look like teddy bears and they're just quiet and chill.
The smaller the toy poodle are, the expensive it costs, or like the bigger it is, the bigger it costs?
It just depends. Every puppy is different, and I like to treat it exactly so. You know, every puppy has their own temperament. Every family has their own purpose for wanting a puppy. And so, you know, when I'm dealing with a client that's intentional, I'm just as intentional to make sure that they get the exact puppy with the exact temperament that they're looking for. So prices just vary. But like I said, I like to work with everybody. So that way the cost isn't the initial thing that everybody's stuck on, you know?
Is it expensive to take care of a toy poodle?
It can be. If you are not as interested in the puppy's interest as you should be. Because these dogs pretty much, I mean, they're hypoallergenic and they have hair and not fur. So I use hair products like, ladies, I'm sure you guys are familiar with the mane and tail. That product is super great for their hair. They have like human hair. So as long as you're taking care of their hair, conditioning and shampooing it and brushing it out at least 2 to 3 times a week, you won't have to deal with matting. Matting is probably the worst thing that you could deal with the hair. That's going to get you so many trips to the vet for hot spots. That's going to get you so much trips to the groomers to get that to demat, which the groomer's going to tell you, we just got to shave them all off. Like, you went too far, buddy. So as long as you're brushing them, their hair won't get entangled in itself. Other than that, you won't have to deal with shedding. So that's another pro and plus, you know, to having these babies, is you won't have to deal with that shedding. Nobody really wants to eat hair and have it all over their clothes, you know what I mean? You want to be able to hug your fur baby and go to work, you know?
What about food? Like, do they eat like regular dog food, like French bulldogs or exotic bullies? Like, what type of food they eat?
So my dogs eat the best. I'm gonna tell you right now, these dogs they love fruits, they love vegetables, so they have a wholesome diet. You know, I'm making sure that I use Royal Canin as their base, and Hill Science. Those are really good veterinary recommended dry dog foods. I rehydrate those, and I begin at the age of about 10 weeks to introduce them into whole foods like some fruits and some vegetables. But I'm vegetarian myself, so you know one of the things that I like to do is use a lot of holistic products. So putting those coconut oils in their food and stuff like that. Fish oils, those are really great things that you could use to keep their hair as rich as it is. And also it works with their intelligence as well. You know, these are things that in nature they would find as resources to keep their cognition up and just keep their energy flowing and stimulate them in ways that regular dry dog food wouldn't be able to do alone. So it's really key and really important to make sure that you are having a really great diet for these babies in order for them to really have a fulfilled life.
So what's the lifespan of toy poodles?
Um, in heart forever because they're an extension of your family, but usually about 12 to 15 years. I've heard of longer cases, but that's pretty much typical and expected.
Are toy poodles indoor dogs or outdoor?
These babies are definitely indoor and outdoor. I say that because poodles are actually known for swimming. They have webbed feet, so they actually are really good swimmers. So, you know, at this size, to begin teaching them to swim is a process. However, they're so intelligent they can swim, and that's why they have these type of ears too. It's really meant to prevent water from getting inside of their ears. Um, but they also have a really good nose. Some people train their dogs in the wild to search for truffles, and as you know, truffles can be really expensive if you know if found. You could sell those to restaurants and so forth at about like $3,000. You know, a truffle. So it just depends. You know, that goes back to being intentional. Like, what are you getting a dog for? Is it sport? Is it for the design? Is it for the art? Or are you just really in love with the breed and know that they're intelligent and you just want that emotional support at home? You know, so
Hey, baby.
If someone purchases a toy poodle, should they get it? Should they get dog insurance?
that's a great question. With me, I walk around with my dogs in my hand like this. I put them in my little pouch right here, and they just chill. So you know, it really just depends. If you know you're gonna have your dog playing with pit bulls, I recommend you get some insurance. But if you're just gonna, you know, take care of your puppy, it's something that it's a little extra. You know, as long as you keep them on a good diet, you're making sure you're always paying attention, so they're not doing little things that create a visit to the vet. Then you won't really need insurance per se. But it is a good thing to have when vaccinations come up, or if they ever need like a surgery or anything like that. Um, in my program, we do a lot of genetic testings to prevent anything coming up in the future with their health. So that way, you know, my clients aren't dealing with cancers or anything crazy that could be life-threatening later on in their puppy's life.
Okay. So do you know like some good insurance out there for people that's watching?
Absolutely. So the best insurance to get really is actually through your car insurance. Or if you have any other insurance for your assets, you can really honestly just ask them about programs and get quotes from them. I know for myself, I have Geico, and Geico offers insurance, and that's where I have my adult dogs insured with.
I know French Bulldog is kind of hard for them to breed naturally. Do like toy poodles breed naturally?
Absolutely. That's a super great question. Toy poodles really are really great with just the whole process alone. I've never had any complications with the birth, with whelping either. It's really just about making sure that mom is healthy, she's getting all the vitamins she needs, making sure that dad was healthy before being the donor. Um, and then the rest is really up to the babies and the mom. The only thing that you want to look out for when you have a litter is just making sure that mom does have enough energy to bust open that sack once a baby comes out. And that's pretty much it. You know, everything else is smooth sailing.
How did you start toy poodle business?
How did I start it? Well, I fell in love with dogs a long time ago, rescuing them. I grew up on a farm in Louisiana, and we had quite a few animals. I mean, we had an emu, we had cows, horse, so you name it. And I fell in love with dogs, man. This one dog, she was a boxer. She bring a whole litter to my front porch, and they just laid there. And from there, we had to nurture them. Um, that's when I began my journey with understanding that these are living beings. Their nature. They need that duality in life. So stepping in and being like that parent, so to speak, um, taught me a lot about initially, what it is that these puppies would have to go through to survive. Um, I began this journey because I've realized that these dogs actually help people with emotional support in so many different ways. So I began the journey of getting my first toy poodles. Once I got my first toy poodles, I decided to breed them. And once I bred them and had my first litter, honestly, finding clients wasn't that hard because these guys sell themselves. I believe that it's the energy that I put into my program that got me this far.
Do you like advertise on social media, word of mouth? Like, if someone watching this and they want to start a toy poodle business, like how can they start from the ground up?
Honestly, yeah, it's definitely about promoting yourself, making sure that your dogs are seen, they're not hidden. You want to get yourself out there in the best way as possible. You can advertise on Google, you can use Facebook ads, you can use Instagram ads. All of those things are really great to get your name out there. For me, I did a lot of groundwork. I got a lot of the police being called on me, man, for just being out there and just showing people love with the dogs, just letting people hold them and see what it is that these dogs can offer besides just the fashion. But besides that, I also got a lot of love. I was able to get a celebrity clientele base. That celebrity clientele base helped me out. Shout out to Sway Lee, shout out to Tyler Hero, Billy Blue, and so many others, man. It's just been a great journey.
How many litters does a toy poodle can have?
Uh, Toy Poodle can have up to 5 puppies in a litter. I've been lucky enough to get 4, mainly, a litter, and sometimes 3. Usually when they're this tiny, it's 3. This was actually a litter of 3. And yeah.
Do you only breed toy poodles?
So Toy Poodles are my specialty.
Mhm.
And the reason being is because they're just so small and, man, it's way less mess to deal with. Um, that's pretty much it. I like to make sure that they have enough space, but I also do have other breeds that once I build enough clients that are asking for them, that's when I'll intentionally breed that litter. So those are more so like the Labradoodles, the Bernedoodles, the mixed breeds, and so forth. But I also do have standard, mini, and toy poodles like you see here. So
Are those dogs twins?
pretty much. The only thing that kind of sets them aside is a few markings. Like this little guy has more of a pinker nose than this little guy, and he's actually just a bit smaller. Other than that, they're identical.
Does toy poodle show any type of aggression?
Nah, I've never ever seen any of my puppies be aggressive in any type of way. And actually, one of the things I do to work with my toy poodles and their temperament is I get them used to bigger dogs real quick. I have a Rottweiler. And her name's Maya. She's just one of the most loving Rottweilers I've ever had. And she just kind of mothers them and teaches them what it is to be around something that to have that type of aggression, to have that type of sternness, and be able to just help them with their temperament, not being afraid or having high anxiety. So these are things that you also want to make sure that as a toy poodle breeder, you want to be cognitive about, is making sure that these small little frail little puppies are not afraid of other things and other people, loud noises, and so forth.
So what about the training process? Is it difficult?
The training process takes a lifetime, for sure. They're always going to be in training. You always have to build a rapport with these dogs. The moment you lack on information sharing is the moment that these dogs are going to lose respect for you. You have to be a pack leader. You have to be on top of things. They have to be able to rely on you, and then you rely on them. Having that type of rapport and that communication is super important when being a dog owner. So it's a lifetime thing for these guys. And it does take every encounter that you guys have, every moment you share together.
So how many dogs you sold so far?
That's a good question. Probably about over 250.
Do you own like your own dogs, like personal dogs?
Absolutely.
What
Yep.
type of dogs?
So I own all the moms and dads of all of my toy poodles, all of my labradoodles, all of my bernedoodles. I own the parents.
How much does it cost to maintain a toy poodle every month?
You're looking at a good 200, 200 on food. Really is the main thing. Because those bottles of shampoo and conditioner for these dogs, they last quite a while. So it's not like those are going to be expensive. Mane and tail costs like $9.99 for the shampoo and like $9.99 for the conditioner. The only other thing that I would recommend you guys to definitely get, and this is one of my secrets I'm going to give, it's a gem, is having drop crates. Drop crates help these puppies understand potty training, and it also helps them with their anxieties. And it also can correct their little small behaviors, because these are the second most intelligent dogs. Sometimes they can become a little witty. And so put them in that crate for a small amount of time will help adjust those small little minor issues.
So what about the business aspect? Like how much does it cost to like run a toy poodle business every month?
Man, last year it cost me about 100K.
Why 100K? What's the expenses?
Man, what it really is just promoting the business. You know, we started from, you know, I had a 9 to 5, and I took the money from that, my last paycheck, and I invested it directly in the dogs. You want to make sure that these dogs are seeing the vet as much as possible. You want to make sure that they're constantly being tested genetically. You want to make sure that they're always getting their vaccines. You want to make sure that they're groomed, and also you want to make sure you have a team. Everybody has to be accommodated accordingly, and it's super important to invest in your program. Food is a great source. Like I said, it's one of the most important factors. So you're going to spend a lot on food. You're going to spend a lot on maintenance. That's where the majority of your money is going to go. And then just promotion. You want to make sure that you're using all these platforms to promote, to get your name out there. And then on top of that, once your name gets out there, you know, you're going to have to show up. So all the events that you get invited to, you know, you want to look the best, you want to be the best. And so that's mainly where that number comes from.
How much do these dogs cost?
So what you're looking at right now is about 7K. These are $3.5 thousand. That's $3,500 each.
3500 each.
Yeah. But if somebody was to organically just walk up to me right now and give me a story and say, hey, you know, I had a puppy that passed, I had a family member that passed, my heart goes out to situations like that. And it's super important that these puppies are fulfilled. And in that instance, they will be, because they'll be going to somebody who actually needs a puppy. So like I said, I'll be willing to work with people. And that's what's important, guys. You want to make sure that you're looking out. You're not just being about the money. Because if it's that, your program's not going to work.
Do you travel and drop off toy poodles, or can you ship them on
Absolutely.
a plane?
So that's another thing. I work with transport services, and or I deliver myself. The safest way to deliver a puppy is if you ride on that plane yourself and you carry on. You have a nice little travel bag like I have here, where your puppy could just sit right next to you, right by your feet. You know, you make sure you have you a doggy poo-poo bag. You make sure you have a bag of food with you, and you know, some napkins if they make a little mess. Those are the type of things you want to have with you always, you know, for these tiny little guys. And that's something that I also offer my clients. You know, my clients, they get a first week's home kit. You know, they get a bunch of pee pads, they get a travel bag, you get a bag of food, some toys. You know, you're gonna get your health guarantee, and all of their up-to-date vaccinations. Yeah, you guys could definitely reach out to me on Instagram at Nickspuppies. Make sure you look for that blue check, because we super certified over here. Anything else, it's not us. And if you're looking for one of these guys, just reach me in my DM, and you can also reach me on my cell at 954-468-6124.